JSPM University, Mr. Chaitanya and his team. हम लोग थोड़े कंजूस हो गए ना तालियां बजाने में। तालियां बजाने के बाद और जोश में ताली बजनी है। एक्चुअली उसको फीवर है, बट स्टिल वो आया है इतना दूर से और शिवर हो रहा है, इसलिए कोट पहन के वहाँ बैठा था, टैबलेट्स लेके वो प्रेजेंट कर रहा है।
Okay, cable on.
Adjust the mic.
Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Chaitanya from ZSI University, pursuing MSc Forensic Science. And I will be presenting about the topic. The topic which I am going to present is the conservation of biodiversity in the Deccan Plateau, where I have focused on the three main areas. Primary focus was on the plant species conservation. This is totally a review-based presentation I am giving there. I don't have any particular study in that. Based on the existing studies, I have prepared this presentation. I will be talking about the three main areas, where I will be talking about the conservation. I will be talking about the conservation of plant species and prevention of some of the insects, some of the animal species, how we can grow them, how we can, there are some endangered species which are found in the Deccan Plateaus. So I will be talking about how we can increase the number of animals which are endangered at that particular area. And the third one is the human and wildlife conflicts, which I will be talking about how we can help to reduce the human and wildlife conflicts. So directly, like instead of going directly into the topic, I would like to talk about what exactly Deccan biodiversity refers to. It is a rich and unique biological diversity which is found in the Deccan Plateau, where it encompasses much of the Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and few parts of Madhya Pradesh and Odisha also. And this is a major ecological zone which of the Indian subcontinent, which is characterized by different types of flora and fauna, including the dry deciduous forest, scrublands, grasslands, and highland ecosystem, which are hosting many of the endangered and ecologically important species as well. So before going directly into the what are our ideas for the preservation of this ecosystem, I would like to talk what exactly is needed in the Deccan Plateau. What is the need? So these are some of the threats that are currently there in the Deccan Plateau, Deccan biodiversity. There is a habitat fragmentation due to mining, urbanization. So as we all know, there is a lot of urbanization nowadays, due to which the forest, the biodiversity is getting disturbed. Second one is overgrazing and invasive species. The people who are residing, as previous competitors have told about that a lot of people are residing, the tribal peoples are residing nearby the forest, reserve forest and all. They will allow their animals or their species to graze over the fields, grasslands and all, due to which the biodiversity is getting disturbed. And invasive species, such as Lantana canara, these type of grasses are invasive species which are invading the particular species which are existing in the particular geographical location. So it is also affecting, because due to overpopulation of those invasive species, that particular species which are particular to that specific area are getting destroyed, and thereby the ecosystem is getting disturbed. The next one is decline in traditional agrobiodiversity and seed knowledge. As we all know that the traditional knowledge was connected to the environment. They used to cultivate food, they were used to depend on the biodiversity, and they used to take care of it as well. But nowadays the seed knowledge has been invaded due to the lot of other techniques which are invaded nowadays. So that is also affecting the biodiversity. The next one is the poor conservation focus compared to the Western Ghats and Himalayas. As we all know, the focus on this area, Deccan Plateau, has been less compared to Western Ghats and Himalayas. So the first of the topic I will be talking about the mycorrhiza, that which is a type of fungi which can be used in the preservation of the plant species in the particular Deccan areas. So why exactly we are using this mycorrhiza fungi species means there are lots of reasons to use it. First of all, this is native mycorrhizal fungi to enhance the forest regeneration in the degraded areas of East Ghats and Karnataka plateaus, as there is a more degradation of this biodiversity plant species there. So we can use this fungi in order to grow the plant species more rapidly, and it can enhance the growth of the other plant species. Let us see how it helps in that. So basically, these mycorrhiza fungi species are very helpful in the growth of other plant species because it provides a lot of nutrients to the other plants. It provides the water, it binds the soil and that area. So if there is any particular area which are affected and which the soil fertility is affected by any means, this type of fungi can be used to grow the other types of plant species. And it can help in the faster growth, proper growth of other species as well. So basically, this fungi will mediate the soil organic matter. There are lots of other matter in the soil which can be affected by this fungi, which helps in the growth of the other plant species. There are 4 stages or 4 ways that it helps in the plant growth of other species in the biodiversity. Those are generating, reprocessing, reorganizing, and stabilizing. So let us see about generating, what it exactly generates in the soil. So basically, this fungi that produce exudates, metabolites, and mucilages and necromasses which are helpful to the other plant species which can grow on them. In the areas where there is a lack of fertility in the soil, lack of water, this type of fungus can be grown and the plant can sustain on this type of soils which are not particularly suitable for some type of plants in geographical location. These plants might have been affected by any kind of urbanization, infiltration of any invasive species. All those reasons can be there. Next one is reprocessing. It removes the distinct microbiomes. These fungus do not come alone. It invites a lot of other microbes which enhance the soil fertility, enhances the microbial growth in the soil, which will help in growth of the other plant species. Next is reorganizing. The soil's physical porosity and hydraulic properties can be enhanced and reorganized by this type of fungi. So I guess this is one of the suitable idea for implement in the areas where the soil is affected by some kind of variables, and it can be used. It can be used for the plant growth more fastly, rapidly, or properly without any effects. Next is stabilizing. These consist of rock and soil weathering mix. This fungus consists, or it produces the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium which are available in the soil that form secondary compounds with a different sizes, surface, and reactivity. So there are lots of other compounds which are needed for the plant for the growth. So this fungus helps in providing such type of compounds which will enhance the growth of the plants. So this was the use of the fungus for the growth of the particular plant species in the different areas where it might be affected by a lot of means. It can be implemented, it is easy to grow. We can use the tribal people where we can involve them in this activity to educate them to how to implement it, what is the use of it, by telling them how it can be implemented easily and it can grow their habitat there as well. Their needs can be facilitated with the help of this as well. Also, due to overgrazing, I told that there was a problem that overgrazing might cause the problem to biodiversity. So this fungus can also be used for the grazing, where we can mimic the original environment, and it can be used for the grazing of the different types of animals which are there. So it can protect the other type of grass which are particular to that specific area. This is the representation of that, how it works. Like we generate a lot of the compounds and all, later on in this process it will process a lot of other things which are there in the soil component. Next it will reorganize those, and lastly it will stabilize the soil and it will make it more fertile. This is the mechanism. There is another thing that grasslands are also getting degraded or getting affected by the lot of things. So these are some of the control measures or effective measures we can take to protect the grasslands. In order to protect the grasslands, we can promote the native species instead of just growing the other species at a particular area. We can involve the locals, people at that particular area. We can tell them to grow the more native species so that it can be the ecosystem will not, the biodiversity will not get affected in that area. The next one is rational grazing. We can, as I told now, we can use that particular fungi for grazing to mimic the particular grass, and we can prevent the rational grazing, and we can prevent the grasslands. The next one is control invasion. As we all know that different species invade, specifically the plant species invade from outside, and they just drastically destroy the local species which are present at a particular geographical location. So whenever we can implement this type of Latin American plant species type of, this is the example, we can remove from that particular area before it goes drastically. In the initial stage only we can prevent this invasion of this species. The Bunny grassland was one of the example which is in which was restored, and then another example is in Karnataka, Peninsular and BRT Tiger Reserve, where Lantana camera was also removed from the invasion, and they have saved the grassland in that particular area. The next topic I am going to talk about the preservation of the animals in the particular area is a micro-conservation sanctuaries. I guess this is affordable, easy to implement, and at the ground level it is really pliable as well, where we can, there are lots of species which are particular to the specific area in the Deccan plateau, such as orchids or their frogs, some butterflies which helps in the pollination. So those are getting affected by many of the ways. So we can create a micro-conservation sanctuaries in a small area with the help of the localites. We can tell them, we can give the incentives, we can provide them a fund for the particular thing, and we can create such type of micro-conservation sanctuaries. It will create their number of species which are getting distinct, which are endangered, or which are economically important in that particular area. So this can help in the extinction of that particular species. So it can be very reliable, easy, in a less amount it can be achieved, as well as the particular localites can also be involved in this, which will enhance the ecosystem growth faster. Next is the next problem we face is the urbanization that we are talking about, urbanization, mining and all those things. Agricultural lands were getting the forest lands are getting for agriculture and all. So we can do a lot of things for the agriculture as well. We can promote the organic farming in a particular area of forest where tribals are living, because there is a lot of loss of biodiversity due to the use of fertilizers and all those things. So we can use the organic farming and all, organic pesticides, organic fertilizers, etc. We can promote them to use those things instead of the chemicals which will affect the soil fertility. The next one is agroforestry. In agroforestry, we can combine the use of the particular plant species or whatever is available in that local area as an agricultural source, instead of using some other invasive species or other things in that particular area. This will help to grow the biodiversity of that particular area without any invasion of external factors. The next one is preserve the tradition. As I told you that traditional way of taking anything from the nature was to give it back as well. So previously they used to cultivate and they used to give it back. Like there was a particular things, so which is now being infiltrated with the help of new technology, which is invaded. A lot of chemicals are getting used, a lot of other things are getting used. So we should preserve the traditions. So there is a zero budget study in Andhra Pradesh, which was who was the pioneer of this was Subhash Parekar. who have used the particular organic farming, organic pesticides, organic fertilizers in that particular area for the farming, and it was success in the year 1995. The next idea, or the next I can say the topic I can implement in the real life is citizen science. We, as I told now, we should include the locals in the preservation of biodiversity more than other people, because they can be more, they are more close to that particular area than us. So we can use it. So there is idea of creating a particular application which can be used for identification of different plant species, animals, any poaching, any if there is any hunting and all those things on the real time, which can be later on identified by the AI bots and later on reviewed by the any human being to exclude the errors. So this is one of the idea of mine. So there is a already existing application I introduced, which is already have been given, where we can upload the image of the particular animal species or any type of plant species, which will identify automatically and will send the report to the headquarters or wherever it is located. And another, as we all know, the people who live in the village or the rural areas don't know much about the things. So we can do one thing. As we all know, the technology is getting advanced. At least everybody knows how to use a WhatsApp. So we can create a WhatsApp bot to identify such species or any if there is any conflict of wildlife with the humans, if there is a presence of any type of animal which is getting into the urban areas. So we can upload it, and we can keep any type of awards, rewards, type of things which will create their way to do all those things in a particular area. So there is a village in the north Telangana where it has been implemented, but not exactly through the WhatsApp. They use face-to-face communication to tell whether there is any particular animal which have invaded. So this is how we can do it. Like we can tell about like there is a presence of giraffe in this area to this spot or application whatever it is. There is also presence of particular new type of species of any type of plant or anything we can also identify through that application, and we can get the exact coordinates of that particular area to identify, and we can set up a rapid response team in order to reach that particular area as soon as possible and reduce the human-animal conflicts with that. So this was a short review about what we can implement in the particular conservation of biodiversity and Deccan that. That's all. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can please suggestion also. To resolve the human and wildlife conflict. The application will help in that identification and to resolve the wildlife conflicts and human. And the other things are to promote the growth of plant species as well as the species which are endangered or economically important species in a particular area.
First of all, these days you cannot ask people to do this and do that. You have to take people into confidence first, maybe a Gram Panchayat, and explain to them that how they are going to be benefited with this kind of practice. Because this should be done on a very large basis. Your title is very catchy, small, something, but these kind of experiments doesn't help to make it its impact on a larger scale. So you have to start with a very big area. Then only maybe half of your efforts will be fruitful. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Now there are lots of other invasive species in plants also.
Yes,
You can add to the eupatorium.
yes.
That is also a menace, like landa. Then you have to identify the invasive zoological elements also. It is not only plant. because zoological elements, they get attracted to plants. So if that plant is there, then only that insect or any other kind of element will be attracted to it.
Yes.
So first of all, wherever you want to implement your idea, you have to map, you have to survey that area, what is the requirement of that particular place, because this idea is a point blank idea. You cannot go and just implement it there, because before that you have to actually see what are the conditions in that area. Deccan Plateau, you will get lots of, miles after together you can go and there is not a single tree is there. Such kind of lands are also available. And all lands available are not similar in nature. There are different, characters of that particular land. So you have to be flexible in your idea to, depending on the particular type of soil also, because it is not the mycorrhizae, there are hundreds of mycorrhizae. There is not a single species. There is a group of fungi, no? Mycorrhizae is a group of fungi. So not all fungi will be able to generate the growth in all the plants, whatever is there. So you have to identify the spatial requirements of that soil also.
Okay.
Isn't it? I mean, I guess you agree with this.
Yes, sir.
Because there is a lot of things you have to go into it. No soil cards. Unless you prepare a soil card, you do not know what are the actually contents of their soil and what are the requirements of your plants which you are going to grow there. Because that plant's requirement, you have to match with the requirements or the availability of those requirements in the soil. So these things you can actually add to your idea, because I can understand it's not possible to explain everything there. But still, it's a good idea, but hypothetically is difficult.
Okay, thank you.
Because first of all, actually you have to prepare the people to take up this. Unless you have your own land, you can do it. But suppose you come to me and ask for land, I will not give you. So there should be a participatory approach of the villagers. So first of all, you have to actually say that we have to convince people first to come together and then go for it. Just a suggestion, it's not a comment.
So thank you, Chaitanya. Very nice presentation. He is a MSc first year student, but the way he has made his slides and the way he has presented and explained is really very nice. So thank you, Chaitanya. Before going for the next presentation, I would like to request everyone that you have to stick to your time. 25 minutes for your presentation and 5 minutes for your discussion. So next we have, are you ready now? So next we have Dr. Azraz, Dr. Mobin, yeah, Mr. Mobin from Modern College.
Have a very pleasant and warm afternoon to one and all present over here. सर्वप्रथम मी सर्व उपस्थितांचं, सर्व ज्युरीज, सर्व पार्टिसिपेंट्स, सर्व या ठिकाणी प्रेझेंटर्स यांचं या ठिकाणी सहर्ष आणि हार्दिक असं स्वागत करतो. आगतम, स्वागतम, Suswara. So I must take this opportunity to congratulate the Zoological Survey of India Kudi for completing a successful journey of 110 years on an occasion of this hackathon 2025. So I am just welcoming. It's raining outside, and that's why it's raining inside my slider as well. So welcome to hackathon. So first of all, let me introduce myself, that I am Mukesh, under the able guidance of my guide, Dr. Ravindra Shivsagar sir, who is also known as the Peninsular man of India. I am just doing my research on a topic of integrated pest management of thrips on onion crop in Rahata Taluka. So I am native from Rahata Taluka, and nowadays I shifted to Pune for job purpose, and my place of work is Modern College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Ganeshki. So first of all, let me clear the objectives so far whichever I have completed, and why did I choose this subject for my research. So you can clearly guess here, as the name suggests itself, that integrated pest management of onion crop. So we have majority of agricultural area in our Maharashtra. That's why it is very multidisciplinary and sustainable. This multidisciplinary approach I have adopted here for achieving the sustainable development. It is eco-friendly. It is not only eco-friendly, at the same time it is budget-friendly also. So I used right from simple hacks to here advanced techniques as well. So it is not only the need of time, but need of very hour, because we are dependent on means our occupation is mostly agriculture. That's why I used this. So you can see here that I used all the advanced cultural control, physical control methods, mechanical control methods, biological control methods. So this is nothing but the heterogeneous assemblage and proportionate combination, amalgamation of all these different types of the control methods in order to achieve the integrated pest management of the onion thrips. Let me introduce you about the onion thrips in short. So these are some of the photographs of onion thrips. So let me tell you the distribution and status and host range of the onion thrips. Then the damage symptoms especially. Then here the binomics, innovativeness of the topic, relevance of the topic, objectives, and then applicability of the work. So let me introduce here, the thrips are very destructive species of insect actually, which can damage majority not only to the onion plant but at the same time to the garlic and some cabbage, cauliflower and some other plants whichever having the fleshy or the soft parts. So thrips are tiny insects that feed on plants causing damage to leaves, flowers and fruits. So different management practices involves identifying and monitoring populations and then implementing cultural and physical controls and using chemical controls whenever necessary. So here are some common management strategies, include some of the using of the chemical pesticides. So traditionally we have been using here the chemical pesticides, but my major focus of this work is the organic farming, because of which we can achieve the sustainable development by not interfering with the food chain or food web. This presentation covers the work done by me so far, right from the species identification and various control methods of thrips. So these are the distribution status of the onion thrips. So it is found worldwide, especially in Ahmednagar district, Rahata Taluka, and in suburban areas and outskirts of the Pune like Narangaon, Junnar, Rajgurunagar, etc. So the major pest of onion and garlic is the onion thrips, and the biological name of the onion thrip is the Thrips tabacchi, which I identified by photo identification method. So you can find here the different host range like onion, garlic, cotton, cabbage, cauliflower, potato, cucumber, tobacco, brinjal, tomato, tea, pear, pineapple, chilies and radish. But the major focus of my work is on the onion especially, and grapes. But now we will see the damage symptoms of the onion thrips. So it extensively damages the onion crop in such a way that it completely deteriorates its outcome or whatever economic value in the market, like right from leaf curling to here what we can say as streaking method, whitening of the leaves, defoliation, degranation, and vacuolation, and what we can say here, the bulb size of the onion will be decreased, and because of that, lesser or here the smaller bulb size is not having any economic value in the market. That's why farmer this is very prone to the economic damage to the farmers, especially local farmers. So they usually congregate at the base of the leaf wherever there is a fleshy or soft part of the leaves are there. And out of the larval and adult stage, the larva is the most infestive stage. That's why I worked mostly on the larva here. So leaves of the attacked plants turn silvery white. It curls, and gradually dry from the tip downwards. And the major damage is the bulb size. That is what the UPS or what we can say the X factor of the onion crop in market. So innovativeness of my topic is that as I told you that propose here the heterogeneous assembly means I used all possible approaches. That's why I used here the integrated pest management. So I combined all possible approaches, or I adopted all the control methods here, right from the biological control method in which I used the ladybugs and green lacewings here in order to control it, and in chemical control I used the various aqueous extracts of such plants, Swittinia, mahogany and Tamarindus indica. In cultural control especially I used mixed cropping by collaborating with the farmers, local farmers especially in and across Rahata. And in mechanical control I used handmade yellow and sky blue straps. So as I mentioned you earlier, that right from budget friendly and right from here simple hacks like the hacks which we usually see in YouTube videos, also life hacks. So it is like simple death hacks, but these death hacks are nothing for us but for onion thrips obviously. So now let us see here the materials and methods. So these are some of the how directly on field I collected the thrips. So samples have been chosen randomly and regularly every week. And each sample consists of the 5 days, which I cut here randomly from each experimental unit. In order to measure or count the number of thrips, I used 2 square inch this area, this leaf for counting purpose. So this is now the first control method, that is the cultural control method, in which we can change the strategy and the practice, the farming practice of the farmer. So I collaborated with the local farmer and I allowed them to work with me. I counseled them, and this is how we got the better result here. So first of all, this is the physical control actually, in which I selfly prepare the yellow sticky strap. So this you can do even in your home, means at domestic, means local farmer you can easily do this. Just single card sheet can also have a bigger impact. So this is how the butterfly effect. A small change in your practice can have, or it can exert the major impact. That is how, this is how the farmers can do well. So these are the materials needed. So if you can see here the materials, even now also we can have these, means we can also prepare, okay, with just an inch ahead. So these are the results which I have got here by applying these yellow sticky straps. This is the farm of my student actually, because I went there. This is not my individual farm obviously, because I was doing PhD actually that time. And this is the result actually. This is how they got stuck. I just applied here the Vaseline simply, and they can stick to the yellow, because yellow, orange, these are some of the colors that insect mostly prefers and they like. And here what we can say that I use these different sticky trap per plant, and I got this result. Especially I got mostly results in the Feb and March, because they prefer mostly the warmer temperature. That's why here how can we get the more amount, means our farms are more populous in summer season. Then we also executed the mulching process. So this was something new in our area, because the mulching paper is something which is made up of the aluminum coat, which reflects the sunlight and which allows to reduce the temperature in nearby soil. So I interviewed with the farmers. I just told them that how can we come over this problem, and then I allowed them to buy this, to purchase this. Okay, and this is how we have made the mulching paper, and these are the different process. So mulching is the effective control method actually, which can help to reduce onion thrips. By the mode of action is like by reflecting the sunlight, and it can reduce the warmer temperature. So it will convert the favorable into the unfavorable atmosphere for the onion thrips by this method. This is something, this is new because I used the mechanical is something engineering type of, but this is very small scale of that preparation of vacuum cleaner for pest management. And even this son of farmer can also use this, means he can construct this vacuum cleaner by simply applying the motor which we were using during our childhood, okay, while playing that motor. Okay, so you can use this, and we can apply this hose or tube like this at the mouth of this bottle, and it can create vacuum. So this is when I allowed the plant to grow in my laboratory, that time I used this vacuum cleaner. This is how actually I prepared this vacuum cleaner, and I got the better result actually. Obviously this is for just for aquaponics and for what we can say at this small scale level, but I just have a kind of model in my mind to make it up to, or to just use it for the large scale purpose as well. So these are the different methods which I used for making this vacuum cleaner as well. Now this is a very interesting one. By just constructing a fence of maize, we can bring about the major, what we can say, the reduction in the proliferation of the thrips. Because that maize is having the hard stems, and the onion, garlic, these plants are having, their leaves are having the soft fleshy parts, where actually these thrips feed upon. So if we construct one single row of the maize around the onion crop, farm, so you can find the major reduction in the result or in the number. So here this is how we created like that. Now in chemical control method I used especially the organic farming, and these are some of the, here I just utilized and I just found their result is better. So here this is how the botanical control is there, the effect of the neem oil in the thrips management. This is the standard probit analysis table, and here I got the result out of this. So here when I use this much of concentration, that 10 mg per liter, so I got 88% of the mortality there, and for 786. This is how I just got these values of empirical probits from the standard table. Later on, how did I identify the species? Means even a little bit education to the farmers can give them to identify their species of thrips. This is the photo-based identification key, and by using this photo identification key here we can identify. This is how the two I identified with that photo identification key, the thrips tabaci and Frankinella triticii. The third one I was just guessing to identify it by the photo-based identification key, and I got this result. So I found such these structures, wings or wings birds were present, and that's why I went further, and this is how I kept on going, and later on I got to know that this is nothing but the Microcephalus abdominalis, and I just also counted the number of segments to their antenna. So now this is something with this another aspect, different aspect, that evaluation of the thripicidal effects of the three plant essential oils against the onion thrips for aquaponics especially, because nowadays there is a prevalence of aquaponics onion farming. Okay, so we have to be much ahead of the time. I am managing here the pest for the aquaponics. Okay, and then the detection of the bioactive compounds also to control the thrips, and I use the SDS page method for this purpose. So when I evaluated these three essential oils for the thripicidal effects, then I found this is how these are the major what we can say, the damages, the leaf curling and whitening, silvering and white streaks for the leaves, vacuolation for the leaves, chlorophyll leaves for the leaves, and then for the onion bulb, it will have the stunted growth of the overall plant and reduce the bulb size. So it will completely deteriorate and disturb the plant, and this is how it may lead to the major economic loss for the farmer. What then we were using the chemicals like cypermethrin. Okay, cypermethrin, actually it is nowadays also it is very effective, but now we have got to know that it have interfered with our food chain, means we can get the contamination with this cypermethrin as well. It can build the residue by the biomagnification, and these pests have got the resistance. So all the chemical control methods, all other traditional and conventional methods to control the thrips were turned out to be very infutile, or what we can say valueless. But here what's new in my study, that I used the plant derived essential oils, and especially these three, eucalyptus, lemongrass and nirgundi oil, and they offer a biodegradable eco-friendly solution with lower risk of resistance. So these are the different oils which I have used here, and I evaluated the effect, thripsidal effect of these three essential oils against the cypermethrin as well. And then here what we can see, these are the multiplexing methods. I first of all made this stock solution in the 2% acetone solution. This is the stock solution which I have prepared here of this much of concentration, 120 mg of a substance in 30 ml of water, which gives 4000 mg per liter concentration. And then I prepare the control and solvent. In control there is no solvent, only water, distilled water is used. And in solvent control 2% acetone is used. And then I prepare actual dose of that essential oil, like low dose, medium dose and high dose. And this is the set for these different doses, and I got this result here. For the negative control means in which I used only distilled water, and positive control in which I have used only solvent, in order to check that whether that mortality is really not due to the solvent. But I got certain little result of solvent as well, but after 48 days. But I found mostly results positive from the nirgundi oil, turned out to be very positive as compared to the eucalyptus and lemongrass. Eucalyptus second and then lemongrass. Obviously cypermethrin, okay, having the pyrethroid, or what we can say very toxic for human being as well, we can get the better result than the essential oils. But we are here for the sustainable development and what we can say eco-friendly approach to control or to mitigate with this thrips management. So I got this result here for the nirgundi. Here you can see the red lines clearly as compared to these other two essential oils, and cypermethrin went up there and showed its effect, but it can also create damage for the soil as well, for the farmers and for the health of other human beings as well. So these are the results which I got per day, and then I just concluded this, that nirgundi's success comes from the compounds like flavonoids and casticin. This is what I reviewed from the literature here. This discussion means I made to find that which compound is actually responsible for that purpose. And especially, let me tell you one interesting thing in my research, that I used even the botanical extract of the tobacco leaf. I usually don't smoke, actually I don't smoke, but I used the tobacco extract from the cigarette. Okay, and whatever the result I got here, from that means I detected the bioactive compound from the tobacco to control the thrips by this SDS page method here. This is how I prepared the stacking gel and the dissolving gel, and I got this result. And the position of the band were like this, means after confirming, analyzing the result with the standard ladder, then I found that there are several distinctive bands that may be associated with the anti-thrips activity. So I found that tobacco extract can also be very harmful or for that thrips, beneficial for us here. So in conclusion, at last I will say that IPM till now has been just a combination of traditional and conventional or different expensive sources. But from now it will be used with the different perspective. It can even integrate with organic farming. IPM along with an organic farming can be the game changer actually. So organic farming is the future, and that future is now. So these are the references which I have used for this my research. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions. Yes, sir. PhD, but means some.
Hackathon, what I pursue is to get a different conceptual ideas to conserve biodiversity and actually to bring out the picture of biological elements in a given locality or such kind of thing. This is your whole, no. And first of all, you have come to Zoological Survey of India. You have praised a lot in your first slide itself. But you haven't taken any efforts to get your thrips identified from ZSI.
No, there was no source. The person was there, but there is no.
If there are no source in Pune, these people would have guided you to reach to the source where it lies. This is photo identification. At least I was a employee, or even as a pension, I derived bread and butter from ZSI. I will never accept it photo-based identification.
Sir, means I adopted the easy and
See,
comfortable method.
You are doing PhD, isn't it? If I ask you in that particular floral part of your garlic, or is a bunch of flowers, isn't it? So there could be at least complex of thrips. There are thousands and one examples you will get that there will be at least 10 thrip species thriving on a single flower. So
even by consulting with the consultant,
photo-based, actually you people are taking this technology of yours which you are using.
Sir, I consulted with the expert actually in
Which expert?
Rahata. In Rahata means I have.
You may be agriculture college nearby.
Yes, agriculture means KVK was there. Okay, near.
Whatever it may be. But you know that there is a Zoological Survey of India where species identification is provided free of cost.
No, there was a unit of pest management in KVK.
See, friend, you are working on integrated pest management. This is nothing new thing. This has been done for ages. You go to agriculture university, you will find that you can add to some more actually plant-based chemical to the already existing list.
But one
Or-
thing has done good, sir. He has used some vacuum cleaner.
That's what I am going to ask
That
you.
one goes to
See, the
vacuum
vacuum cleaner, it is for your lab. Have you tried in the field?
Not yet actually, means I am just thinking.
So, see, any idea when you are putting up, you should try it first. Then only I'll get convinced, no? Otherwise, imaginary you can have anything, and this I have done and this is working. See, vacuum cleaner in an open space, in
No, I
agriculture.
have that idea to connect it with the pipelines
And
and all.
secondly, I have reservations for your idea of having a fence of maize. Is maize a pest of thrips?
Sorry?
Maize is a host of thrips?
No.
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 Then why they will shift to the maize?
It's just a single row of thrips that maize can have bigger impact for reduction because as compared to other methods.
What
It's
reduction?
the cultural control actually.
Reduction is what?
In thrips proliferation of thrips population.
They will not proliferate of maize. They will not go there.
Maize is not there actually. The
Maize is not a host of thrips.
No, I am.
See
I am telling that to construct the
You
fence.
have to provide alternate host then only they will switch over the nearest plant. You got it? Got my point?
First of all,
See, what is your idea of having a maze?
Yes, sir. That's why it will not come inside from outside. Actually, I am not means right from seed.
You should know the growth and the life cycle of thrips. They don't move at all. They don't move.
As in
Have you seen with your naked eye thrips flying? Have you seen?
What's up?
Have you seen thrips flying like
Yes.
other insects?
Yes.
How long? How much distance?
Not that much, but 1 feet just above the flowers there in this onion.
That's why I'm telling you. See you can propose anything, but see the practicality and the utility of that particular idea which you are proposing. Whether it has got any relation. Whether I am an entomologist, I know.
Yes, some of the
And
plants.
post-plant relationship also I know.
Sir, if some of the plants get infested with the thrips, that time just intercropping means mixed cropping can also have the better result.
This is very old.
We got the result.
You go to the mixed cropping is encouraged. Or ages people have been doing it. I'm sorry, but this appears to be, it doesn't fulfill the idea of biodiversity.
Sir, it
You're
preserves
working on
the
a-
onion, we can also control the infestation of the garlic and some other host plant as well. That's why we can preserve
My
the
dear
biodiversity.
friend, the idea of this data or this, I think we are getting drifted with the well, but there are flaws.
Sir, we can protect the non-onion plant as well by managing the thrips. That is how we can
Even in your presentation,
conserve the biodiversity.
find some flaws which, if you feel that they are, you can avoid them.
Yes,
suggestions.
I will rectify. I will.
सर सिर्फ सजेशंस दे रहे हैं ताकि फ्यूचर में मतलब कुछ मिस्टेक्स ना हो और आप इसको रेक्टिफाई भी कर सकते हो आपका थीसिस या आपके स्टूडेंट के साथ वो क्रिटिसाइज वो सब मतलब नहीं ले रहे हैं सो
But actually there are some not factual information.
थ्रिप्स को एक्चुअली मैं जब बीएससी में थी तो मुझे प्रोफेसर नाचने सर एंटोमोलॉजी पढ़ाते थे और एंटोमोलॉजी हमारे लिए एक थोड़ा फोबिया जैसा था मतलब जितने बच्चे थे अरे साइंटिफिक नेम कैसे याद करेंगे कैसे करेंगे लेकिन जिस तरह से वो हमें पढ़ाते थे उस तरह से हमें एंटोमोलॉजी से एक्चुअली जो प्यार हुआ वो उनके पढ़ाने की वजह से हुआ तो प्रोफेसर नाचने सर हमेशा पढ़ाते वक्त थ्रिप्स नहीं बोलते थे वो पढ़ाते वक्त बोलते थे ओ वी विल बी गोइंग टू लर्न द वैलेंटाइन ब्रेकर्स वैलेंटाइन ब्रेकर्स का नाम उन्होंने थ्रिप्स को दिया था क्योंकि आप गुलाब का फूल किसी गर्लफ्रेंड या बॉयफ्रेंड को दोगे तो जैसे वो नाक के पास लेगा तो थ्रिप्स नाक में जैसे छींक करेगा सो इट इज कॉल्ड एज वैलेंटाइन ब्रेकर तो इस तरह से उन्होंने हमें एंटोमोलॉजी दिमाग में इस तरह से हमें डाली हुई है कि उसको मतलब ऐसे हो गया कि एंटोमोलॉजी से शादी हो गई मतलब जो हस्बैंड है उसको तो डिवोर्स कर सकते हैं बट एंटोमोलॉजी को डिवोर्स नहीं कर सकते तो उसका जो श्रेय है वो सिर्फ नाचने सर को जाता है और मतलब लकीली वही मुझे गाइड भी मिले एमएससी में जिन्होंने मतलब मुझे साइंस ही नहीं लाइफ में मैं पहले बहुत इंट्रोवर्ट थी शाय थी क्योंकि छोटे से गांव से थी जैसे सर हमेशा बोलते हैं कि छोटे से गांव से जाने के बाद हम लोग कैसे ये करना और कल हमारा ZSI का एक नाटक भी हुआ IIT पुणे में कि छोटे से गांव में जाने वाला लड़का कैसे बड़े शहर में अपने आप को सर्वाइव करता है और कैसे डिफिकल्टीज भी आती है तो उस तरह से जो मुझे आज जो मैं हूँ उसमें गढ़ाने में पूरा हाथ नाचने सर का है और सो जस्ट ऑन अ लाइटर नोट मैंने बताया आपको और येलो कलर वाली बात बताती हूँ ये लोग बता रहे थे इनके प्रेजेंटेशन में कि इंसेक्ट्स जो है स्पेशली थ्रिप्स येलो कलर को बहुत अट्रैक्ट होता है तो हम लोग जैसे ZSI में तो सर्वे में जाते हैं हम लोग तो सर्वे में जाते हैं तो लाइट ट्रैप डालते हैं लाइट ट्रैप में हम लोग व्हाइट कलर का शीट डालते हैं यानी कि व्हाइट कलर की एक बेडशीट होती है जहाँ पे एक बल्ब का सोर्स होता है जहाँ पे सारे इंसेक्ट्स उड़ के आते हैं तो मुझे उस वक्त मैं नहीं थी ZSI में मुझे पता नहीं था कि डूज एंड डोंट्स सर्वे में जाने के कौन सा कलर का ड्रेस पहनना है कौन से कलर का ड्रेस नहीं पहनना है मुझे उस वक्त पता नहीं था और मैंने मतलब हमारे जो सीनियर्स थे मैं जब ZSI आई वो लोग रिटायर्ड हो गए थे तो कोई था नहीं मुझे बताने के लिए मैंने फ्लोरेसेंट येलो कलर का ड्रेस पहना वो जो है सारे इंसेक्ट वो व्हाइट शीट तो छोड़ दिया, मेरे ही ऊपर आके बैठे। सो तब से मतलब बिल्कुल कान को खड़ा, ये लोग का ड्रेस पहन के फील्ड में सर्वे में नहीं जाना है। जैसे बोला जाता है ना, लाल कलर की साड़ी पहन के भी शेत में मत जाओ, मतलब शेतात जाऊ नका, का तर बैल मागे लागेल, तर हे तसं आहे। सो थँक यू सर। So we have just one last presentation. जब तक इन्वर्टर शुरू होता है, मैडम है हमारे यहाँ पर सुषमा मैडम, जो कि हैदराबाद से, ऑल द शी हैज कम फ्रॉम हैदराबाद। मैडम इज HOD ऑफ जूलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट, बॉटनी डिपार्टमेंट, बट वो जूलॉजी में अपना प्लांट्स वगैरह कंजर्वेशन, बायोडाइवर्सिटी के ऊपर में शेल बी स्पीकिंग। प्लीज कम बैक।
Hello, good evening everyone, respected jury members and respective members of Zoological Survey of India, Pune, and all the audience from various fields. Even basically I am a botanist, as I have been involved with the Biodiversity Board since 15 years. So I just made an attempt to make a model of our own university and present it. I am basically from Osmania University, Hyderabad, and this is one of the constant colleges of Osmania University, and I have been working in Koti Women's College, which was one of the constant colleges. Now it has been raised to the status of Women's University, and this is the model I have taken, my own university. I have taken it as a model, which has a sprawling campus of 43 acres. Almost since 10 years I have been working to understand the flora and the fauna. More particularly, I was concentrating on the flora, and I have written 3 books. One is Flora of the Campus, which comprises of about 650 species, and heritage trees more particularly I will be discussing, and then even I am concentrating on the, the weeds. Actually weeds, everyone has an impression that it has to be weeded out, and I have observed certain things in 3 to 4 years, how it is useful, and in barren lands, instead of not having anything, if weed is growing, it is providing food and refuge to certain animals. And in that aspect, and apart from that, how certain weeds, how they play an important role in nutrition. And I am writing one book, it is almost in the verge of completion, Weed the Need of the Day, from Plate to Pellet. I am taking help of the nutrition department, chemistry and all to complete this work. So let me start with my presentation. Hyderabad British Residency, a model design for conserving biodiversity in an urban scenario. As I was talking that we have 43 acres sprawling campus. Here rethinking environmental solution, the role of innovation and technology. This I have been applying it for botany because it is static. For zoology I did not try so far, but after hearing the title hackathon, why I not be associated with the Zoological Survey of India either in Hyderabad or Pune, anywhere, whoever gives me the opportunity, and with that I have kept this as the title. This is the biodiversity at our college. Here our college, particularly the photo what I am showing is the Darbar Hall, where it has a history of more than 400 years. It is the British Residency earlier, Hyderabad British Residency. So here I would like to say that not only the monuments which has conserved by World Heritage, but also we have both the living monuments. In terms of green monuments, I call it as plants, and even all the animals where we come across. As I was discussing that I have recorded nearly 400 fauna species, and this is about the campus. As I was talking that it was, and we have the site of 43 acres and we have a very large area. The building space, it is almost less than 40% and more than 60% is of the campus is in the form of the green prairies and other plants and animals. Environmental issues such as climate change, air and water pollution, deforestation and biodiversity loss are astounding globally, and here we need to see for the approaches and what are the approaches we can have as an innovative technologies. As I was using, as I told that we have developed QR codes to all the trees of the college campus almost 5 years back. And actually, to be very frank, it is for NAC accreditation. Our college management has asked us to do, and it is. I thought it is an opportunity. As a teamwork, we have Biodiversity Club, which was introduced 5 years back. We have 10 members in the team, and we coordinate. And both we have botany, zoology, and even from other streams also we have. And everyone is free to share their ideas. And we have developed QR codes for the plants. And apart from that, we have even used drones to understand what type of, about the area and the greenery to represent the area. And apart from that, we have used digital cameras and all such gadgets. And as I am a plant biotechnologist, I have made use of DSI system, that is digital information sequence systems I have followed. And I have seen certain species which are new in plant. I have identified, not anything from zoology. So one variety of Momodica charentia, another species of that which was earlier there, that is the earlier based wild varieties, how it is useful in that is for genetic studies and for in evolution. This is our botanical garden, and I always feel that there is a correlation, or plants and animals go hand in hand to maintain the biodiversity. So these are some of the spiders. I have actually 45 types of spiders we have identified in our college, and I am taking the help of our entomologists, zoologists, and I am trying to, and as a pictorial guide, I need to present all the 400 species what I have. This is another one, the different types of spiders what we have, and this is again another omnivorous. And then we have crab spiders, and then we have dragonfly diversities, and then we have grasshopper diversities. We have many we have identified, and again we have different types of dragonflies and all. Again we have crickets also in this, and the life cycles of the butterflies, and there are about 64 species of butterflies that I have identified in the college campus. Almost it took 5 years for me to understand and what type and all, and how frequently they appear and all. In this context, I would like to tell my observation. It is the jasmines which are very common. In the last 2 years, there is declination in the or dwindling of the jasmines. That is one thing. And Junonia lemon is one which is very common. Even there also I have seen declination in this year. And there was lot of blue jays and again Donald egg and castor browns more. And variety of caterpillars we have observed. These are the ones where we have. And even the monarch butterflies also we see, but not that frequently as other type of butterflies. And these are the caterpillars, and these are the different developmental stages. Recently I have reported 2 papers. This is of castor brown, how it is laying its egg and how the leaf is getting folded, and we have seen we have studied almost all the life cycle and we have reported. And these are the mesmerizing wing beauties. We have, as I was telling you, that there are about 64 species of butterflies. And this is the one where we are seeing the pattern of mulching, what you say, the nutrients are taken up by the soil and all when there is, and these are again other types of butterflies. And again these are the Donald egg and all other Junonia and all, crow brown. And this is again another one. And then this is a diversity of moths. And as we all know that they are diurnal, they are crepuscular, and they are even nocturnal also. I have identified and I tried to categorize them. These are the different types of moths, and these are the ones where we can see, and these are different types of moths. Even bees also, we have different types of bees in our college campus, and these are as an example I have cited. We have almost reported more than 20 types of bees, and there is a host specificity. That is one thing which is very, very important. And here we have wasp and hornets also, and then you have other beetle diversity we come across. And that is jewel beetle, and so some of them are seasonal during rainy season and all, we observe them more. And this is again the bugs, and lovebirds, they are very common, and I have reported that they lay their eggs in Sterculia fotida. I am trying to understand the nature of chemical that is being deposited in Sterculia and how it is helping them to attract the plant Sterculia. And then we have different types of bugs, and then we have flies, and here we have nocturnal life at the HPR. As I was talking that we have bats, different types of bats, some 5 to 6 types of bats I reported. Fruit bats are more common, and again owls, different 5 to 6 varieties we have seen. And moths, nearly 25 varieties of moths we have seen. And again, as bats, they play a very important role, and particularly in regeneration. Actually, in forest areas we say, but ours is also having dense canopy. Most probably, even in our college also, we find lot of regeneration of fruit plants and all others, and even the moths also, they play an important role in pollination. Again, flowers which are night blooming and which are aromatic or strong scented for the nocturnal visits. And then owl uses high branches as lookout points to catch the prey. Here mostly I emphasize on the the heritage trees. They play an important role at different layers. For some it may be the home, for some it may be that is the refuge point, and for some it may be for looking for the prey. These are the camouflage for self-defense. And as we have one corner, what you call it as Abdul Kalam's corner, and if you have tree, you have everything. Otherwise, I just say everywhere that grow more to glow more. So if you have plant, you can get everything. And these are the bird diversity, and we have 82 bird species which have been identified with the the specialists, bird specialists. And we have that is Humayun is one of the bird expert member. He comes very frequently to our college. We have bird walks, and even Dr. Farida Madam of Wildlife Fund, even she also comes. We have earth hours and we have other activities, and here these are the birds. And one more thing is, we have nearly 32 peacocks in our college campus. It's breeding like anything, and they are finding a very congenial atmosphere. That is what we could find with them. And earlier the number was almost 16, 17. In almost 3 years, the number has been raised to 32. And we are trying to, provide plants which are suitable for them and increase their population. And here these are the reptile varieties, and we have dhaman, rat snake, and we have naja naja, king cobra, and even water snake also we have. And these are the signature animals of our college campus, and I see these squirrels to be more in number. And in plants, it is the Mimosops elengi is one plant as a signature plant we have seen, because our campus is 400-year-old, and people they use the seeds of Mimosops elengi. In Hindi it is called as Monsari or Bolsari. So the seeds of which it is eaten up by the fruit, pulp of it is eaten up by the birds, and the seeds, when they fall down, it is collected and it is sold at the rate of 3,000 rupees per kg. So usually for chanting the prayers, Muslims, they make use of this, and it is the signature plant. And even today most of the people from the Hyderabad and Secunderabad twin cities, they come and they collect the seeds. And this is the mammals at our campus. We recently had this cattle. And innovative and effective conservation strategies. It is maintaining heritage trees and fruit-bearing trees, and maintaining weeds and encouraging ornamental plants, butterfly gardens. Here in this context, I may be a little bit, in a sense, the observation. Since 3 years I am observing. As one of my friend just now, he mentioned that lantana, it is an invasive. I do agree with it. Even Antigonon leptopus, it is what you call as sweet pea, that is also an invasive. Rivinia humilis, it is also invasive. I have categorized the invasive species to understand how badly they affect the surrounding areas first. Second thing is, with their presence, instead of having a barren land, if they are present, they are contributing much to the biodiversity of certain species. In such case, we can consider them to the extent as far as they are not harmful. Here I have reported on lantana camera 43 species of butterflies. That too adult butterflies, particularly adult butterflies, for the sake of nectar, they come, they squeeze or drink the nectar, and they will move. And they almost rotate around these plants only. That is the observation made by me since 3 years. And likewise, even Antigonon, it is not only providing nectar to the flower, that is insects and butterflies of different categories, moths and all, but even for reptiles, it is becoming the place of refuge. That is again one thing which is very, very important, particularly even they need to safeguard themselves. So in such condition, the presence of weed, which in other terms may not be that helpful, but in providing the sustenance for some of the animals, there is no harm in having the weed, particularly in barren areas, instead of not having anything. That was my observation and conclusion. And here another one is initiative using smart technologies. I am thankful to my former Vice Chancellor, Professor Vijulada Madam, who is a chemistry professor, and she was in charge Vice Chancellor of the university. In her regime, almost for 3 years, we worked like anything. It was almost on toes. Even she was involved. And there, she has encouraged us to make use of drones and other technologies which are there. And we made use of certain technologies, and these technologies,
No problem. So, am I not audible to you? Yes. I am audible. So,
what I would like to conclude from this point of view is, even technologies, they play a very important role, as I was talking about digital information systems. And with the digital information systems, the new species or earlier species which was there, to compare the gene sequences data, genetic data and all, it is providing a very important, it is an important source. And Rama from NBA, Dr. Rama from NBA, National Biodiversity Authority, is in collaboration with me in some of these barcoding sequences and all. We are doing the work collaboratively along with the BSI people. So there Dr. Shankar Rao sir is involved in this, and even Hari Krishna, and we are using even GPS and GIS for the plants, not for the animals, as I was telling that wherever there is static nature then we can. And here, after listening to the title, now I am just thinking and rethinking that I should study the habitat of one particular Indian blue jay, that is roller bird of Telangana state, where it was almost appearing in more numbers. In last 3 years, there is dwindling in the numbers of that. At least if I take up that, if I understand in collaboration with ZSI, if I get the opportunity to work, at least some sensors and other thing, it's not an easy thing. First to understand the habit, life cycle and all, it takes a lot of time, 3 years or 4 years. Now people, they are working on vultures, they are working on flamingos and all. In Run of Kutch, it was found earlier because there was no human interference. But now it has been shifted to Gujarat, Sambal, and now it is again shifted. So like that, it depends. Even the animals they choose, they have their own preferences. So keeping in view of that, if we can do something at least with one animal, it will be nice. And our main aim in the college campus is to inculcate each one adopt one. So it is not only the zoological parks and other things which play a role in adaptation and all since 5 years, but even every individual can become the custodian for biodiversity and their own way, whatever they can do it for biodiversity. And this is again the tree what I was mentioning about, mulberry tree or bolsari tree, which is a signature tree, and these are the old banyan tree which is 450 years. And now we are studying about carbon sequestration in the heritage trees. We have nearly 116 heritage trees in our college campus, and we are trying to study with the help of the chemistry department. And again, these are the fruit bearing trees where we wanted to attract some insects and provide the nature's food to them. It's not only we consuming, even we have to take care of them also for sustainable future. These are the weed diversity identified and conserved in our college campus. There are about 128 weeds I have identified. In that, there are nearly about 40 weeds which can be used as leafy vegetables. So that is one thing. And medicinal plant board has given me the opportunity to submit the book. In the near future, in a month or so, I will be submitting that book. And these are the ornamental gardens, how the host specificity, and there are certain specific plants, particularly the plants with aromatic essential oils, they play an important role, and how it is useful for conservation. And then we have Haritaharam programs. It is not only the government when they call for, even otherwise also we plant. And here again we provide water and all to the animals and in the college campus during summers particularly. And these are the nature walk and the bird walk programs what we do. And these are the rescue operations due to this Makara Sankranti, this kite festival. There is lot of threat. Nearly we save as a team 10 to 12 birds every year we try to save. And every morning and evening we will be on rounds. We have 12 members of biodiversity team. Whoever is free, we will be on rounds and we will try to safeguard. And this is again an eagle which has been safeguarded. And generally what we do is, we take it to the super specialty hospital, which is nearby to our college campus, and we give the treatment. And this was the kite, almost it was in the verge of death. I could notice from my window something was hanging, and I could not see when I was on ground. I could just locate it like that. I could save it with the help of some of the gardeners and all. And we have given saline for that in the hospital. And then we have taken it to the rehabilitation center at zoo, and we have handed over it to them. And then here, this is bee conservation zones also. We have different types. And then we have different types of composting, like mealy compost, vermicompost and all. As we have lot of trees, we have lot of plant material accumulation, and degradation is very required. Just it is a beginning for this. Hope I have 10 more years of service. At least I could contribute something to the biological diversity in my own way. So it is a special thanks to ZSI for giving the opportunity to present. And from bottom of my heart, I thank my professor, Vijayalata Madam, ex-Vice Chancellor, and present Vice Chancellor Surya Madam, and Loka Pawari Madam Principal. And my heartfelt thanks to all the team members, not least Dr. Mehta and Hajira for their unflagging support.
Roller is your state bird?
Yes. That is what I am focusing with this hackathon. Actually, ZSI has given me or initiated the idea in me. It has kindled or ignited the spark to sparkle. That is what I believe. I just want to...
In fact, actually, recently we have written a book. Both of us are co-authors.
Yes, sir.
And two more authors are there. So we have written a book on state birds, on stamps, postal stamps and currency. This is being reviewed by National Book Trust of India for its printing. So we are waiting for the result. So we have seen that actually Indian roller is a state bird of more than
Yes,
two.
sir. It is not only, it is limited to Telangana, even Andhra Pradesh and
It is more than 3-4 states.
That is what.
It is a single species
Yes.
of bird.
Yes.
That is a state bird.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you are a teacher, so there is no question of presentation, quality and quantity and all. It's excellent, no doubt about it.
If you have a meeting with them, no doubt about it.
No.
Because I will have the opportunity to learn, and
No, it's a good initiative. Actually, you as a teacher, if you do this, I'm sure that at least 10 of your students will be hovering around you to participate.
that is what I wanted, sir. Because
It will happen because actually there was a time, maybe some 10 years back or so, even the teacher community was actually lethargic. I'm sorry to say, I was never an academician, but
No, the thing is, sir, as you said, what you say, we have 6
it's
economists.
my observation. I may be wrong.
There may be 6 economists and 7 opinions. Definitely, I do agree. There may be, because some of them, they may be good in some other thing.
Yeah.
Almost taking everything into consideration, it's a very rare combination. What even we feel. Only few teachers, even we come across like-mindedness. That is, the chemistry should suit to work also.
No, thanks to people like you that actually you have brought this biodiversity subject. At least you have taken lots of efforts to photograph them and collate them at one place. That's a great thing. Actually, the youngsters will be inspired by you. So why not to do such thing in their own area?
That is what.
And educate the people that this is what we need to conserve and preserve for the future.
Actually, I am an expert committee member for State Biodiversity Board of Telangana, sir. And I am a consultant member of National Biodiversity Authority, sir. and I am variously associated with the TS cost, which is with science and technology, and even with DSI also I am a resource person. Likewise for Inspire Science programs, and you remember evaluator and as a resource person.
Good.
And recently,
Actually, I am feeling depressed. Evaluate your work.
Sir, another thing is recently I was awarded Best Teacher of the State in 2024.
Okay, great. Big round of applause for her credentials.
Outstanding Women Scientist Award for Environmental Sciences.
That goes unsaid, I think. Okay, thank you so much.
My suggestion is,
Sure, sir.
you can publish a book.
Yes, sir, I'm doing it, sir. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah, Flora, I have
Flora
completed,
and
sir.
fauna of that
Yes, sir.
can
Fauna
publish.
as a pictorial guide, sir, because I'm not well versed with the, what you say, the classification and all. So I'm just taking the help of some entomologists, as I came to know that sir is one of the entomologists. No, I will take even the
To
help
be
of
an
sir.
anthropologist is a misnomer. Nobody in his whole lifetime can be an entomologist. This is what I can say.
Yes, sir. As you said, it is right. There will be changing in the varieties and all.
Not only varieties, whatever, even if you don't think of the conversion or the addition, whatever is existing is very
Yes, sir.
difficult to identify.
Yes, that is what as I tell.
For whole lifetime, I have worked only on single family of insects.
Yes, sir, that is
I
great, sir.
could not identify the adjacent family of
No, no, no.
I could not venture.
No, you are right, sir. Because when we want to attain perfection, that is always good.
Very difficult.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच। बाकी की चर्चा हम चाय पे चर्चा के साथ करेंगे, सो विल ब्रेक फॉर चाय एंड यस, एंड देन आफ्टरवर्ड्स वी हैव